All right. So, tonight we find our heroes at Valorant in the City of Temples at in which they've had themselves. They've had a night's rest from the day before and now find themselves once more up and about this place after Layla, Nala, and Alora successfully slain Valen Embermaul, the Chain Tempered, and receiving uh, the title from him, Mighty, though they themselves have yet to claim it. Um, you have been able to gather his supplies. You find his weapons surprisingly mundane. Um, Swords of metal and other ideas. You would have been able to find that what he did have a quick healing potion on him, so that would be true. But other than that, it seemed that his power came from within his noble abilities and code powering what he did. A power of glory, one could say. And that we were coming to a breakfast being served of roasted beef, bread, and some morning ale and coffee. As we find you all here. Kind of how do you enter down into the main hall from your rooms? I think is a good intro, and we can go from there.
I think Nala, this tiny little limber child, is clearly a little intoxicated as she makes her way down the stairs and just kind of accidentally bumps into the wall on the way down the stairs a little bit. She's clearly had a rough night. And she kind of makes her way over to the table, smelling the food, and just plops down there and just immediately starts digging in with her hands.
Garrus is going to follow behind, but instead of bumping into a wall, he's been imbibing. But Garrus is a stout halfling, so he's got dwarven blood in him, and it doesn't phase him. He jumps up onto the banister and does a catwalk on his hands down the banister and flips onto the table. Let's see if he lands it.
Let's do acrobatics.
26.
Oh,
Flawlessly.
Yeah. Drunken master. There we go.
Gymnastic salute.
Yep.
I guess Azariah comes in with, I guess, a demeanor that is stoic as he usually is, but a face written with words left unsaid. He obviously wants to get something off his chest, but for now is just taking in breakfast as it comes, while plenty of things are on his mind, such as the things he wants to say to Nala and the things that he's thinking about to make this gentleman's death or his funeral or whatever we decide to do a memorable moment for all. So that's what's on his mind right now. So he looks like he has a lot on his mind.
What Laura would do is, with the immediate smell of food early in the morning, she's gonna straight beeline it, not even walking down the stairs carefully like a normal person. She just jumps straight across, trying to stick on her feet with the aroma of the delicious meal. And I will make an athletics check to see if she lands on her feet.
What's with you guys?
Garrus is showing off.
That's a dirty 20.
Yeah. sliding down,
She
landing. Aha!
You land that, and I'm like, did you guys?
Oh, you cut out. Uh-oh.
Chilling you there. You cut out for a moment.
Did you guys hear me at all? Because my internet
Yes.
was
Now
like,
we do.
Yeah.
Now
We didn't before.
Okay. I look at you guys. Did you guys do any drugs last night? I don't know why you have so much energy this morning.
Well, I've been drinking.
I'm just hungry.
That is a liquid choice for many. I don't think I've ever seen you be this elated about eating before, Laura.
No, not normally, but ever since that cooking challenge, my craving for food and my palates have seemed to increase, and I'm quite liking it.
Oh,
This smells amazing.
it's good to see you cheery too in the morning. How about you, Nala? I mean, I'm guessing Nala's already eating. Is the food good?
Nala is like digging into like a bowl of oatmeal with her hands, and she's like got her face really close to it, and she's just like imbibing it into her mouth. And she looks up, and it's just like dripping down her mouth. What? What was that?
I'm taking it you like your meal.
Yep. There's nothing like a good orange in the morning.
That's oatmeal.
Yeah, that's not an orange.
Oh, I might have dropped some orange juice in it.
I guess that counts.
You want to try some? I just take a wad of it. Here you go. I just put it on the table right in front of you.
Gareth will reach over and scoop it up and eat it.
Does the orange smell fermented?
Not bad. Not bad. A little tangy. Not used to oatmeal having that much spunk to it. All right. So what's the plan for today?
Well, I think we have to get on the road, right? Aren't we looking, or are we looking for a staff?
Looking for staff makers.
That's right. Or do we have a lead?
Not exactly. That's something we can do as we get down south, but we still have a ways to go, even before we get to the forest. I think it's best if we hit the ruins first, anyways. But did you all not want to? I don't know. It seemed like you all were wanting to give the warrior that you fought last night a send-off of some sort.
Yeah, he was a good warrior. He was here's to the warrior, and I take up my glass and hold it up. He fought valiantly and deserves a proper grave.
Well, we could see to it that he gets one. I've already talked to the mortuary last night on the way, and
Did they have enough money for the tombstone? Because I have some gold.
I got some gold too. I won some gold. I'll buy the tombstone.
I'm sure that they wouldn't mind if we contribute.
All right.
But maybe we can put up a few sheets of remembrance to invite people around the town, so that people can come and let his memory live on through stories.
Yeah, we could have maybe a cloth where people can sign their names,
Have like a wake.
and we'll give it to the family.
Does he have family?
Well, what if he doesn't have family?
I'm sure that he has quite a bit of friends, like the 2 or 3 that he was with last night. I'm sure they'd come.
Well, they probably hate us.
I think everyone here knows that death is always a possibility in the arena. And I
Yeah.
think these people will take death with glory over dying of old age any day.
Is there any magic we can use to bring him back?
It's a little too late for that, at least in what powers I would have access to.
All right. Well,
Oh.
let's we need to look into that then.
Well, why don't you, everyone, especially you, Nala, get cleaned up a little before we go?
I'm pretty clean.
Your hands aren't.
What happened to my hands? Why are they so dirty?
I look at you like a child that's been playing in the dirt a little bit too much. And what I will do is start cleaning, like like giving you a towel to like clean your hands, and like other things that maybe use, like take off small marks on your shirt with like prestidigitation and like different things like that to clean you up, because you looking a little dirty.
Yeah. I still have some blood on me.
Yeah, I like use like shape water to like bring up like a cube, like a little bit of water, and then using my mage hand to like wipe wipe it and like from the water bubble, and just like getting you clean here in the middle of everyone, like a child in the middle of a restaurant.
Okay.
Nala, before we go, do you mind if I talk to you for a little bit?
Is it yes or no?
I mean, you can say yes or no.
But I don't know what that means. Which one is yes? No, I mean no. I mean,
You
which
don't
one?
you don't have to talk to me. If you don't want to talk, say no. I can always keep and hold on to my words until a more appropriate time.
Oh, no, I was trying to say I was okay with talking, but if I say yes, I feel like I'm saying no if I mind. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. I see. Well, I'm. Well, why don't we just? I need help in doing this, anyways. I've been trying to work on something, and if you don't mind following me.
Absolutely. Come on, Garrus and Alora. We need to follow Azariah to help do something.
Yeah.
I'm eating. You guys are fine.
Yeah, I'll like have my like behind her. The mage hand is like behind her with like the stop, like the hands all out, and like waving one finger like no. And we won't take too long. Just and all right. Then I'll like walk to my room.
Yeah, I'll follow the way up.
So the only thing you really see as we get into the room is I have taken this gentleman's weapon and tried to clean it the way that my father had taught me to clean a weapon. Something that we would usually do in funeral rites, so that you can see the nicks and the stains that are unremovable, and the time and the of it being worn, that we would usually lay to rest with some of our warriors that have fallen in the Isles. And so, what do you think? It looks pretty good, doesn't it?
This was his sword.
It is still his sword.
Yeah.
I wanted it to look nice for whatever ritual or funeral that we plan tonight. I think he deserves it.
Maybe. And I kind of take it in my hand. Is it like a great sword?
Yes, it is in fact a great sword. You can see that taken to your hand and looking at it closely, you can see the handle of it is very ornate. So the hilt, I'm sorry, the hilt of it is very ornate, wound, kind of artistically made, as if for someone of great import. But you can see that there's still kind of strange blue metal that's left over from where it looks like the blade of it had broken off at one point. And then put instead of the blade, while sharp and is, I'm just gonna tell what looks like inferior metal. Good, but just as if it had just, it's not of the same quality. A little dirtier, a little less well forged, like functional. But going from the hilt of the blade all the way to the tip is what seems to be embedded chain.
Maybe I should have someone work on this. I mean, you've done a great job cleaning it, but look at the way it was broken at one time. It looks like it was almost put together again, but like something important was taken out.
Do you think it was an heirloom? Maybe we could ask his friends where he got it from.
Yeah, we should. I don't think this is an ordinary sword, even if it is something that looks fairly ordinary.
I think we can seek them out and have that conversation, but before we do investigate further, I wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
Nala, I think I'm very proud of the way that you've carried yourself ever since I've known you, and I've seen you grow in many ways that I didn't know that old people could grow. But you challenged a man known for his victories, for his honor, for his strength, and he called you mighty in his last breath. He didn't say lucky. He didn't say dishonorable. He saw you. He saw you how I see you. Your will, your fire, your refusal to yield. That's not a title you steal. That's something you earn in blood and bone of a fight. You wanted a clean win. I think you wanted glory you could point to and say, I did that. But sometimes battles don't give us clean lines. They give us chaos and pain and allies that who won't let us fall alone. You didn't fight alone because you never needed to. You fight with people who believe in you, just like that man fought with the memory of his own legacy. He named you mighty, not for how clean the fight was, because you endured, because you gave him the fight he wanted. And I don't think the word was about the win. I think it's about who you are.
Nala's kind of listening in, and she nods. You know, I was thinking about it last night, and I think accepting title isn't about accepting being mighty. I think if I accept the title, which I think I should, it's more about what you're talking about remembering that challenges like that, they're not fun in games. You know, they're real. People can get hurt. And I think I learned that the hard way. And I think I learned a mighty important lesson.
I chuckle at that. I think you did. And I think you continue to learn and grow faster than any of us do. You truly are a surprise. But not only that, you're a mighty big one.
Yeah, and not only that, I'm a shadow tested one, and a survivor one, and a maker of fate one, and a Epicurious one. So many titles.
And I hope you have a bag big enough to carry them all in.
Yeah. Well, this last one I think is the heaviest one. And I don't think I'm actively seeking titles anymore. If they happen, they happen. But thank you for your words. And this sword might be my way of, you know, giving back, or I do want to know more about this sword. So,
Well, I think it's a good time now than ever to pack up and grab Allura and Garrus and try to find those gentlemen he was with.
yeah, they're probably doing backflips downstairs.
I've never seen that this early before. Are they really okay?
I don't know, but for a second I was wondering whether that was the alcohol I was seeing through, but everybody else seemed to see it too, so
That really happened. As I get up and walk downstairs and
follow.
lead the way.
Very good. So you two come down to. What are you other two up to?
Garrus is having second breakfast by now.
Actually, hold on. Let me roll for this, and you'll see why. Just because I thought it would be funny. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. At least for her standard. She's on her 14th breakfast dish at the moment.
You're just eating it. We're eating everything. Yeah.
At this point, like she's like, ever since she just stated that she's excited for food, it looks like she picked out one of everything in the menu and just started eating it.
Are we ready to go?
Yeah. And you'll probably notice that I'm carrying down the sword, and I imagine I would have put it in a hilt of some kind so that I can carry it at my side until we can get to the people.
Yeah. So, you'd probably have it wrapped essentially because it wasn't.
Oh, that's right. It's a
necessarily
great sword, and I'm
Yeah.
tiny. So,
It's like, yeah. But I could definitely see. I think for this, what you were able to do is you're able to take off his like basically outer tunic that he wore, which had actually the symbol of a chained heart on it that you're able to take and wrap it, and thus you carry it. And are we dragging the body through town too? What do we
Dropped
do?
it off at the mortuary last night.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Yep. Nice.
so yeah, I'll let Garrus and Laura in on what the current plan is before we leave.
Okay. Well, let's go find his friends and figure this out. Give him a proper rest.
All right. So, how's it y'all want to begin? Like, where are you going to try to find these friends?
Where'd you guys find them last time? Was it at this bar or a different one?
No, I think we just met them at the pit, didn't we? Like at the fighting range.
Yeah. Well, because I'm not sure what you mean by friends, because you didn't really meet friends of his.
I didn't think we did. The only person we met was the MC guy.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was
know if
him
there
or
was-
the other challenger. Yeah, he didn't really have very many friends, but maybe he has some associates back at the arena.
Yeah, we could try there.
See
Or
if
maybe
they
the
can-
MC knows something.
Yeah, smart.
Very good. In that case, getting back there now in the day, it's much they're more close to the evening before. It's early in the morning. It's people aren't there just yet, though there are, as far as in the ring, but in and around there are like places for stretching and pull-ups, like basically like this. It's like wooden and stone exercise area where some of the challengers and people might compete later or kind of doing their warm-ups, and some sit eating out of appears to be like this very thin, almost papery wood. Like they're eating like porridge and oatmeal out of it to kind of get their strength up from the day. Not too far away, there's a stall that seems to be giving this out for 2 or 3 copper each. And looking about, you do see sleeping underneath this what really appears almost just like a large canvas like you'd put out for the rain, being held up a little bit off the person's face by a large stone is the announcer from before. And he's still asleep this morning.
I'm gonna walk up to his sleeping self and kind of lightly kick at his cot.
Okay, you kick and they and pull the canvas off of their face and look. Oh, the killers of my darling, how welcome. Oh, what can I do for you? You got paid looking at Garrus, correct?
Oh yes, I got paid.
And why are you here?
2 reasons. Number 1, we were hoping you could help us understand his rituals because we'd like to give him a send off to the other place. And secondly, I was curious if you knew anything about this, and she'll take the wrapping off of her back and present the great sword.
And he looks at it. Down. Yes. That is Darlene's. Well, the sword. You really had no idea who you challenged.
No.
Oh, you don't even know the fine vintage you struck down. At any rate, that is his sword. Kind of looks. He broke it. Facing a challenge. And it kind of looks out. One that, well, I should say, from people who you all are not unfamiliar with. His title was the Chain Tempered.
Did he fight the heart?
Oh, no, no.
No.
He went with the shadows.
He nods.
He tried to fight them.
Oh,
He wanted to. He had great hope, wanted to redo things, and he challenged one of the trials. The trial of chains. It is said to serve on the council is to not be chained to the world. And as his final test, his opponent was a woman he loved.
who was she?
A great beauty. And a sense of honor and glory of this place was in her heart too. It kind of just looks. Give me a persuasion check, Nala.
All right. Let's see. Now's a good time to use my special ability. That's 27.
7. Very nice. Her name was Vestrasa. My daughter. At any rate, he, in defiance, used his sword against the arbiters of the challenge. And in it, they broke his mighty sword that had slain dragons and monsters. Not deterred, he left in this act of defiance and lost his position. And he was glad, hoping that him and my daughter could have a life. However, he did not know there was another challenger, who shortly thereafter entered the challenge and killed her. In his rage, he grabbed the chains that he had fought with, strangled the one who had killed her, and had those chains reforged to replace the blade. And then he was never the same. Got by. My family was dishonored greatly by this. We lost titles and rights, and as did he, just receiving the chain tempered. And we also didn't have any taste to achieve new ones. So, we put together this so we both might live And now it is only I who live.
I didn't want it to happen like that, and I'm very sorry.
Many died in this arena by his hand, and he died by all of yours. That's how it goes. We had longer than I thought. We had decades.
That's a long time for somebody fighting in an arena.
Indeed. Death is always on the table in this thing.
Did his sword have a name?
No, he never named it. That life, that tradition, he left the day that he strangled the murderer. Well, I should say the killer. It was an honorable duel.
Is there anyone who now owns this weapon?
No, he had no descendants. I was his only companion.
Well, I'll offer you two things. If you would like it, I will give it to you. If it means something to you as a memory of him. Or I will take it with me and use it so that I don't forget him.
It is yours by right, and I appreciate your offering, mighty one. But I do not wish it.
And I was deemed that title, but for you, I will always make an exception. You don't have to call me by it.
Again, I believe I understand your compulsion for such things, but he gave it to you.
Yes.
Valen did. It would be a great dishonor for me not to respect that.
Very well.
But I understand. So, you asked about rituals. He had none. The order and I guess path that he once held was abandoned. So dispose of him as you wish.
Okay. Thank you for talking to us.
No, know that you did nothing wrong. It was just the time for this part of our lives to end.
Nods.
What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, I think I'm ready to make his funeral nice and give him a good, decent plot. If you guys are,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should put on his tombstone that he was. Yeah, that he was the beloved of Lustrasa. Okay. Yeah, let's just take care of that. And if he has no family, there's no one else to meet. Laura,
Yes.
it was the wolves. The wolf who did the final blow, correct?
No, that would have been my magic that did that. Maple.
Oh no,
was-
not Maple. The other wolves, the magic wolves.
Yes, they don't have names particularly.
Well, I was thinking, given the history of the sword, that I would add to it if we ever come across maybe a wolf's canine or something like that, and try to forge it into the sword.
I suppose that is quite honorable. The least we can do for him.
Well, if you ever come across one, I mean, obviously not, don't take one from an actual wolf, but, if we come across one in the forest or something, just try to let me know and we'll add it to the sword.
Sure thing.
Azariah, I think you've done a lot of good here, and I think all we need to do left is just to pay the mortician, and then we can go on our way.
That sounds good to me.
I got the mortician's bill. I feel guilty. I profited off your win.
Garrus, there's nothing to feel guilty about. I don't. Nobody did anything wrong, as was stated.
I suppose I guess I felt like I should feel guilty.
Well, that's progress. That's real character growth, Garrus.
So, the way here, this is essentially a 20 gold would be what this would come down to.
Yeah, I've got that.
I'm going to add something to it. I'll add 5 to it.
Okay. And the process you see actually is they earnestly use these utensils that, see them drain venom from these things that look like half chicken, half lizard, essentially cockatrice. And they petrify the body, making it entirely into stone.
I was going to recommend that we have a statue made, but they're already doing it.
Mm-hmm. And that's for the process. And then you buy the spot in which it is displayed.
Do we know where Lestrassa's body was? I don't know if hers was burnt or if it was ever recovered. But if it was, then we'd want to put it close to there. If not, then we're going to put it somewhere else.
It was petrified. It is in a 2,000 gold spot because it was all of his earnings that he spent to put her in a great glory thing.
Could we, seeing that we're in a place with titles, do you think we might be able to negotiate it?
That's clever. Yeah, I think we can. We're going to try anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess we're kind of playing this out. So give a persuasion check. I think you do have several of the titles, both Mighty being his slayer and the fact that you're shadow tested.
Well, I'd say let me do it since I had advantage with a +6 to that.
can we both roll?
Okay,
Yeah,
Can we?
so you both
Okay.
both roll. I like that.
Awesome.
sweet.
Persuasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dirty 30.
Oh,
25.
Okay, very good. Okay,
Nice.
beautiful.
all right. Those are very good. So, with that, as you're pushing, you are able to negotiate, tell the story. You find people who knew them and who've been in this. In fact, some of the caretakers of her and the spot around were friends of the couple. And because of all this and your persuasiveness, you're able to negotiate down to 1,000.
Nice.
Sorry, I said 1,500 gold. What was my original?
2,000. Oh no, I think you said 2,000.
That's what I thought. Okay, I was right the first time. So 1,000 gold. Yes.
Okay. So could we deduct that off from the 20 we've already paid? Or does that make sense? What I'm saying?
980 more.
Oh, so no, the 20 gold was just for the petrification.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and just pay the 1,000 gold then.
You got 1,000 gold?
I sure do.
Garrus blinks a couple times, not realizing how much loot his
I've been in this game since day one. I did not have enough to really spare that 2,000, but I can spare 1,000. Especially for this, it's a character moment.
All right. In that case, you are able. These are actually the highest points of Valrin along the tops of these buildings that you're fairly sure were partially constructed out of the large ribs of the Titan that was fouled, and thus it's like a bridge that almost goes around the city all the way around. And then find her, and she you see that around her is about 3 or 4 days worth of in various stages of being left out single purple tulips seem to have been left here, and you are able to place, there's about 3, including the man you talked to, who come out. Just kind of remember this story and the tale. Just watch you place them, and as they're fully secured, they kind of just gives real curt nods and don't say anything but lock eyes with all of you and leave.
All right. Well, I think we can go now to you. I know you both had gone to the library, right?
Yeah, we did quite a bit of research.
What did you learn?
Well, what did we learn? God, you're making me think. It's too early for thinking. Azariah, what did we learn?
Well, we learned not to assume and maybe also ask people names before we fight them. Is that what you mean? Sorry.
Yeah. No, what did we learn at the library?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was kind of lost in thought.
I don't blame you.
Well, we learned about the chains themselves and how that throne position of sacrifice has been
Vacant
for some time.
Yes.
And we learned that not a lot of people have seen the rune binders, but they have turned into, some of them have turned themselves into trees. Sound like dryads of some sort, but we learned a little bit about the history of this place and how we believe that people came here from Vasselheim, and first they worshipped a little bit of the gods, and then a huge don't even know if a Titan came, and well, it seemed to not really just fall, but it sacrificed itself for the people here. At least that's kind of what I was getting. And I shared the knowledge that I was able to see a relationship biologically between a lot of people here and that being that we fought in the arena that came from the heart.
It's all connected, this city.
Did you learn anything about dryads?
Maybe. Maybe these grove keepers turn into dryads, it sounds like. They become trees. Could be dryads.
So where do you think we should go next, based on what you've learned?
Did you say the ruins next? Or should we head towards the grove? We got a long way to travel if we're gonna go to the grove.
Well, I think we should hit the ruins first. That is the most important, after all. I just thought that the forest, since it wasn't too far, would be a nice stop off.
Yeah. I'm all right with doing that.
We still got a lot of time to go. Sure, if I remember looking at the map right, that there's a few cities in between then, and more stories and memories to be had, I'm sure.
All right.
So I think we take our tour through Gunter, and then Fort Farentis, and then we'll take the unbeaten path to the ruins of Ankombolt.
Sounds good. We got some traveling to do then.
Sounds like it. Should we use our horses? Do we still have our horses with us?
Stabled them.
That's
That's
right.
right,
Okay.
you did. Yeah.
We might want to get some more food. I believe we wasted the rest of our rations when getting here.
Don't worry, I can cook on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I now know how to cook.
Still need food to cook.
Usually you need
I'm-
food.
Well, that's what foraging's for, right? And like hunting. And...
Well, have you ever tried to cook after you forage? It doesn't work that well.
Oh,
Well, I'm sure that Alora could get some, but I still want my snacks.
Spice some
Okay.
potatoes and stuff
We'll
like
get some
that.
coffee.
Yeah.
We'll get
I
some
still have
food
enough
items.
coffee for sure from what you guys have given me. I probably would just take some dried meat, some hard.
Yeah,
tack,
let's get
you
some
know.
bacon, some potatoes. Let's get some bread and some cheese and
some grapes.
yeah. Let's do it.
dried
Shopping
fruits,
episode.
some dried cranberries.
You know, I don't think I've ever actually been to a grocery store in D&D before. This might actually be kind of fun.
But we're going. I don't know.
Convenience
Just a
store.
general store. Or
Yeah, I've got
is there
coupons.
is there a grocer?
What would the D&D version of it, like El Super, be called?
Oh my goodness! I mean, there's marketplace where they sell cookable
Yeah.
foods and all these things. I mean, definitely.
Awesome. Let's go.
So we go and stock up. I don't know. Do you guys actually want to role play this?
Yes.
Someone does.
That's a silly question to ask Jackie.
Of course. Like, when it comes to food, Laura's on board. 100%.
I think we'll go. Hopefully, I don't think we'd spend too much. Anyway, coming on, you see, as you go to where all the foods are cooked, we're going to do it maybe this way, where there is this grand, larger woman who, red hair, tightly braided down, who greets you. She goes, "Ah, very excited to see the mighty ones. I've heard so much about you. I heard today is the day you are leaving, and I
Hey.
assume you're here for supplies. Otherwise, why would you come?"
Why
Exact-
would we?
Jeez, Garrus.
She's right. Let's get some food.
Yeah,
I'm
we
excited.
also we want a cooking competition, and we're looking to get some food items that we can cook on the road, since we're all, kind of active chef people now.
Ah.
I just like eating.
I see. So ones that you can lend your considerable talent to, because we do have some simple. Let's see here, and kind of she starts to look. She goes, "I do have dried worm meat. Does that sound good?"
Actually,
Right.
does sound good.
Worm meat. Oh, is it spicy?
I do have some spicy versions of it. We have pre-spiced that is heated with fire sand, and then we've just kind of got a regular kind of base flavor here. All
What kind of
works.
worms?
Fisher worm.
Are those like giant worms, or are they just like? fish
Oh,
worms?
you look! Lucky you have not run into one. Apparently, yes, enormous, 10 to 30 feet long, tend to burrow underground, and when they sense creatures walking above them, they're able to swirl their bodies so a fissure opens up directly underneath their prey. The prey then falls down, breaks their legs, gets eaten by worm.
Okay, we've got to get some of that. Are there any like effects on the eater? Do they?
Incidentally, now in Azariah, you have fought this creature.
Yeah, I totally remember that.
But that's fine. As it goes, well, the dried version. She goes, yeah. Essentially, here, if cooked, you are able to for that day. It's actually somewhat helpful. Have 5 feet of tremor sense.
Oh, nice. Very nice. And
So she's
okay.
able to sell you enough here for 3 meals that would feed the group.
Nice. Okay.
It is so in each one of those meals. So that would be 10 gold for each. So 30 gold total.
I'm looking around. Do they have groundnut butter, aka peanut butter?
Oh yeah. So any type of stuff you want, I'll say, for like potable, shelf stable, really for shelf stable supplies, to make grand meals, or good meals. We'll call it. I guess let's go ahead and say 2 gold a day.
Okay.
per
And how long
person.
does it take for us to get to Gunter from here? At average pace?
Let me look at it. To get all the way to Gunter. Stupid. Looks like it'd be about 4 days.
Cool. Not too
Okay.
far. Not too
So
bad.
if we each spend what, $8 or
Mhm.
8 gold coins,
Yeah.
we would have enough. Okay.
Yeah. In addition, they do have, of course, standard rations if anyone wanted to stock up on that, as well as the stuff for horses, all in the PHB there.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
get
cool.
something for the horses.
We need horse feed and buy some carrots.
How long does the worm meat stay
It's
edible?
dried.
God.
Indefinitely.
Awesome. Okay, so it's no rush.
Correct.
Worm jerky, yay!
You need 2 silver for horse feed to get to the next destination.
Yeah, but it must be prepared into a meal. Like you have to use your cooking skill on it.
Yeah.
And this is going to be. It's not going to be a problem, but might as well mention it. It does need water
Okay.
as part of the ingredients to be hydrated in order to fully be used.
Based on the mapping system we have, I assume we know there's some freshwater lakes and whatnot nearby there. On the road, I mean.
There's not between Valorant and Gunta.
Okay, so I need to stock up on
You
some.
can get some water here, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Do we want to get a cart? I
you
can
mean like a
drive a
wagon?
cart. Yeah, I can drive a wagon.
How much would it cost to rent a wagon for the trip?
Buy a wagon.
Ooh, yeah. What about we buy a wagon?
Well,
I like
I'm
the
not
idea
gonna
of a
spend money
mobile.
on buying a wagon, but
I
I'll
feel like
rent a
every time
wagon.
we buy a wagon,
I
we
mean,
just leave it in the town.
Especially if we wanna carry water and stuff like that. If we're carrying our water, that's a lot to carry.
Yeah, there's definitely not a renter wagon system here.
Okay.
These lands are so dangerous. There's no chance that people
All right.
do that.
Let's look into the price.
Yeah.
Yeah, simple 1 or 2 horse wagon, I think would suffice.
Let's see, because I just see the legacy one. I don't know if they changed it. So I'll say base 2014 is 35 gold.
Sold.
Hold up.
Jeez.
I think I had a vehicle underneath my tools when I made Elora. Let me just double check this.
Yeah, let me actually look at I want to get the 2024 because they might have changed some interesting things.
That's about the price of the worm meat.
Here we go. Mounts and vehicles. Oh, I don't think it just made it.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
okay.
Yeah,
no,
it's the same. So you have your animals, which you can do. Okay, yeah. So its weight is 400 pounds, and the cost is 35 gold, and it can move weight up to 5 times its base carrying capacity.
Okay.
With the way the animal can move that weight with the wagon, including the weight of the wagon.
How much is it?
The cost 35 gold. The weight of the wagon's 400 pounds.
35 gold.
Pretty good.
Yeah, let's buy a wagon.
So then I think you had riding horses.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So your riding horses capacity is 400. Carrying capacity is 480 pounds. So if you hook one up to the wagon, that means it can carry around a ton.
What if I were? No, I can't do that. Wait, what if I summoned a giant elk? How much would that carry us? This is a giant animal.
How long can you summon a giant elk for?
That's a good question. Let me check.
That's the better.
I imagine probably like an hour or something. I mean, that'd be nice. But
Little stuff.
we've already got the horses.
That is true. It is only up to an hour. But technically, I can make it last for 4 entire hours.
Yeah, that's not. We're talking days though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not worth the upkeep
Yeah.
magically.
I think we're good. We've got the wagon, we got the horses, we got our water, the food, and the horse feed.
Yeah, I'm connecting my horse onto there too. I'm trying to read while we ride.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and so when you put 2 on, they do each add that, so it'd be like 4,000 pounds you can move with the 2 of them.
Cool.
We got plenty of space for water and supplies and stuff like that.
Does Alora have a horse? I can't remember.
She does not. She was not with you guys when you guys had a horse.
That is very true.
Okay, how many horses are needed for the wagon? Just
At
one?
least one.
Okay, well, how about this then? Because I just realized I'm very small size right now, so I could share a horse with Garrus, and then Alora could ride the other horse.
No, but he's gonna ride he's gonna ride the cart. He's driving the cart.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He's driving the cart.
Yeah.
Oh, then we're good, right? Because
Mhm.
only one horse on the cart. We got 2 horses
Mhm.
along with that. Okay, cool.
We
good.
got 3 horses, but yeah.
Yeah, George is pulling the wagon because Azariah is riding in the wagon, and Garrus is driving the wagon.
Wait.
Yep.
Uh,
And Nala could easily ride in the wagon too. She's little.
if we need to, I can also drive the vehicle. I have proficiency on that, at least when we're on land.
We could take turns if you want.
Very cool.
That's good.
Alrighty. In that case, all right, you all wagoned up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Laura, I recommend you do our scouting, so to speak, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, you're probably a lot better at foraging and the like too. I'm better in the city and on the road.
I don't say why not. Anything in particular you want me to keep an eye out for?
Dangerous animals. And
Well, besides that,
just basically any dangers in the road, or just you probably
Yeah,
have a
sure.
better eye for that.
Mhm.
Hi ho, Silver. Away.
Perfect. Here we go. Okay, moving down to Gunta. Okay. So he said it was Laura leading at first.
Yeah, Laura's kind of ranging like our ranger.
Yeah, doing the ranger thing. Give me a survival check there, Laura.
Well, alrighty, let's see. That would be a 19.
Very nice. All right. Pushing forward. There, you leave the large walls of the Titan skeleton town of Valrin. Its gloriness left behind, and you already hear more challenges and things throughout the day happening. And as you do, you can see here the sun is somewhat setting by the time you get out. You did a lot today. It kind of just outlines in shadow the various statues that are on the outer wall that seem to guard the city. And of course, you can see the one that you nearly put up there. The tricks of light and shadow almost looks like its hand is embracing the hand of the one next to it. You move further south here in Isilra. And as you travel, what does it look like for all of you? How is everyone traveling?
Well, Garrus is driving the cart and focused on the road pretty much and making sure, but also Garrus is making sure every once in a while I'll be glancing over our shoulder and seeing if anybody's following us. We've
Sure.
developed a little bit of a reputation, and that might make us a target to some people. Might have some rivals or something of the like. So every once in a while, throwing a glance over the shoulder, and it's easy enough to do riding in the cart.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
22.
Ooh, very nice. 22. Look, there's a few that have that went to kind of see you go off, but other than that, you don't see many following or anything along those lines. All seems good.
I'm chilling in the back of the cart there, and I'm like comfortable. I'm reading a book. The book I'm reading is Blood Rights: The Ancient Art of Sangromancy, and I'm like laying down on my belly, book in front of me, with my legs kicked up like a teenager on the phone, and just enjoying my read. While I'm looking out the back of the cart, kind of glancing up every now and then, but also um, yelling shit to Garrus, like every time there's a bump in the road, like "watch it" or something like that. Goofy.
I can't control how bumpy the goddamn road is.
They really need to put something in here that can absorb the impact, like springs or something. Why hasn't anyone thought of that?
There's rudimentary springs. I mean, there's a suspension on the thing, but that costs a lot of money. I guess we could look into that in the next town. Air ride suspension.
Yeah.
Nala is spending a lot of time on her harp. She's been singing songs like Home on the Range, and then between that, she's writing a song about Balin and Stressa and their love for each other, and just will randomly play parts of it and keeps bothering Azaria, like Azariah saying, hey, listen to this part. Tell me what you think of this part. And just we'll play a part of the song and just kind of just go right back to writing the song, and just is kind of distracted with that. Isn't really paying attention to where she is.
That's some beautiful music, Nala.
Yep, I'm going to premiere it when we get back to our home.
I'm sure that there'll be plenty of places to try it out between here and our destination.
I call it the Unchained Melody.
Fitting.
Where did our scout go?
Uh-oh.
Dead!
Bandits.
Wait for them to connect their stuff. Looks like we need a mic connected there, Laura. There we go. Perfect.
That's technical difficulties over here. Oh, was it just me that had that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. I gotta look into that.
Yeah, we were just talking about how we were going along the ride and like what we're doing.
Yeah. See, as you push forth now, there is dark clouds ahead. A storm seems to be most definitely one that you're hit tomorrow.
Oh boy. Guys, we gotta find a shelter. Make a shelter.
Incidentally, Laura, you'd be able to see, as you checked before, the storm doesn't seem to be moving. It seems to be over the area that you are traveling in, that you travel into tomorrow.
Interesting. Seeing that ahead of time, she's gonna go back to the group since she's been scouting ahead. Hey, there's that storm over there. It's not moving. It seems to be stationary.
That's not normal, is it?
Not particularly, unless it's with magic. But even then, I don't think that's normal.
It's
even
more
for
that,
magic standards.
just more of that Weaver stuff.
Well, we couldn't rule that out.
Maybe we'll get to meet that nice white pony again.
Yeah. Well, I guess that means we know what we're walking into. How bad do you think the rainfall is over there? Do you think we'll be able to see?
Nature check.
Yeah,
Ooh, natural 20.
nice. um, looking ahead, I would say both as you can scout a little bit ahead and look. You can see evidence of very high winds, as well as thunder and lightning. There's certainly the potential for great rain, but as of yet, it doesn't seem to be, at least from the areas you can see. With that check to, it looks like the area that it covers is at least 100 miles.
Looking, looking from here, I'm not able to check to see how far the storm is, but from what I can see, it's pretty long. It's a very nasty storm, but I'm not too sure if it'll be easier to drive around it. If we did that, it would take much longer with how the area of the storm is.
I think we got to go through it.
I don't think Tremor Sense is going to help here.
No. I hope the horses don't get spooked.
That is a problem, especially if it's thunder. We got to keep the horses with us. Make sure they're actively with someone.
Or maybe we should just give it whatever Garrus was drinking the other day to do backflips on the breakfast table.
No.
Now, do I feel like if I cast Tiny Hut on the cart, it would stay on the hut, stay on the cart?
I think that's a good question.
That is crazy. Let me take a peek at the new Tiny Hut, but
This isn't the first time I've seen this situation.
Yep.
well, because I've done it for ships before. It's just,
Ships are moving, right? So
Well, because technically, where you'd be casting it would be the wagon itself and not the horses. And if the horses are pulling it on top of a level surface, then technically it would work.
I don't know.
yeah. I'm just going to quickly read the new 2024 how they word it. Okay, so that's really well. Yeah, so here's the thing. I'm reading it out. A 10-foot emanation springs into existence around you and remains stationary for the duration. So here's when you can be allowed to
By 2024 rules, you can't use it on a ship either. It remains unless the ship is stationary.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, I think they've filled it in
Yep.
for us.
It specifies that it remains stationary.
Yeah. So unfortunately, not.
Out of curiosity, just so I'm aware, like as far as our spells and everything, are they all going to be 2024?
You know what? No, I'm just so used to 2024. I went to there.
Yeah, because I know they changed.
Just because I know this is the one game that's.
Yeah, you're right. I just every other game's that. So that's what I did. So we're back to 2014. So yeah.
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 Have these shenanigans.
Whoa, JD shenanigans.
Like I know our exhaustion is 2024, and I'm totally cool with that.
Right.
Right. Yeah, we did that. But right, the spells is 2014. That's how we've been doing it. I just again. what exactly I was afraid was going to happen happens, where my brain will go defaulting because of what
It's
I'm
all good.
all the other games.
I was gonna mention the same because I'm I go back and forth too. I'm like I would just have to redo my character a little bit. That's all.
Oh god. Okay. So that would be a 10-foot. Let me actually go back to the normal one now just to double check. But I know it's tiny hut. Here we go, the legacy spell. Actually, it's so funny. The old one says it remains stationary for the duration too.
Ooh.
Spawns if you leave the area. Yeah, I'm going to say so. I'm going to go back to what I was saying. I'm saying that I think the wagon's pushing it.
Cool.
Mhm.
I think a ship is large enough where we kind of like move it, but I really do feel like you're pushing on the little on the
No,
wagon a little bit.
that's
I think it's
fine.
beyond the purpose
Yep.
of the spell.
Definitely worth a shot.
I agree.
All right. So, with that out of the way, the other thing I was going to ask was, oh God, I forgot. I had a question. I'm going to wait until it comes back to me.
All right.
I also actually had an idea that I completely forgot about, even though I just had it yesterday. May I please talk to the plants?
Incidentally, too, I'm just sort of reading this, is that it would also fail because it would theoretically include the horses, who are
Oh,
larger creatures, and if a creature's not medium, the spell fails. According to the text, just sort of like whatever it's worth. I'm like, it's so.
What's so
interesting.
funny, Alora, is I was going to actually ask you to talk to our horses.
that too. I can speak. Can I speak with animals? No, I cannot.
But you have I'm sure you have some type of animal love.
I have animal handling, but I can't speak to animals. I can only speak to plants.
All right.
Let me just double check. Make sure I don't have anything sneaky in my kit.
Yeah, you can talk to plants with your pollinator pants.
Yeah, but I can't talk to animals.
Talk to the plants with my pollinator pants.
Yep.
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah, that's why I asked if I can speak to the plants before we head in.
Did you read the instructions on the when you speak with plants in this way, you do so by making a combination of somatic gestures and dance-like steps rather than using your voice.
Yeah.
So Laura starts dancing and talking to the plants.
This is what they meant by Flight of the Bumblebee.
Exactly.
That's pretty funny. I like that. Let me see. What I'm gonna attempt to ask them is if they'd be possibly able to tell me if anything stands out danger-wise, like any creatures that we might have to keep an eye out for.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's do. I guess they'll roll here. So you got their ask. I remember because I think speak with plants gives an automatic friendly. Actually, which is what's really funny with that spell. So you put out an asking specifically about the dangers. Say, so we'll say you find a series of honeysuckle. As they respond, it's kind of danger. In the storm, it is rough, my friend. It's been there for 6 months.
Interesting. Did someone make it?
There was a strange crack, like a tree falling, and then the storm began. There's, and then they can say, so in there, it's like the weather doesn't like people who come into it. Sometimes people take other ways, but we don't always see them come out.
That is really, really unnerving. Oh, well. I gotta ask what my companions want to do with it. So, she'll look at her companions, then back at the plants, thank them for their helpful information, and then walk back to the, to the wagon. So, the plants told me something peculiar, fellas. It seemed like this happened because of a tree that fell down that caused a crack to form, which summoned the storm. And what's weirder about that is that it appears that the storm reacts negatively towards people. This is something I have never heard of.
Sounds like maybe this is a tree of great service to nature, and maybe people were harming it. I've heard stories like that before, even songs. Actually, I want to search my memory banks of my song knowledge to see if I can think of anything that this might resemble, because I'm thinking like a great tree, like some type of Viking tree, or that might be protected. And if there's a storm, then maybe there's some type of
Yeah,
not
I think what
necessarily
we've
deity.
allowed a charisma history for you on these.
Yes.
And then could I do the same thing, except since I'm not knowledgeable and don't have songs, nature check to see if that tree would be something that she knew.
Nature would not be applicable. I'd be like Arcana.
Ooh, well, I'm still gonna, yeah, I'd still like to give it a try. Flat roll flip.
Can I just add my charisma to it? Is that how we do it?
Right.
Okay.
Well, mine's a 12. That's a straight Arcana 12.
23.
23. Okay. Yeah, I'd say taking the idea of like something like a storm happening when with the cracking of a tree. You recall a song. It's sorry. It's essentially a song of lovers. The idea is that dryads,
Yes.
of course, being spirits of trees themselves, their life force is tied to their tree. Should a tree be felled and destroyed, the lords, of course, they die. And the song is about how this spark of wind, a great, powerful elemental being, in the hierarchy of the planes and the worlds, fell in love with a single tree, and always made sure that the winds were favorable around them, and a spirit known as Dryad eventually came to dwell there and be born from the tree. And when, in this story, when the tree was fouled, they grew angry and they caused horrible storms and floods to destroy the village and the lumber area that they did. And so it's more these spirits, it's like just kind of this lover's tale of vengeance sought.
I relay all of that, and I even play up one of the verses from the song that I remember, and I say, "Yeah, dryads." I mean, I always kind of these days I feel part dryad because the leaves growing out of my head, but this is really exciting stuff, guys.
If there's a storm, is the dryad pissed off?
Well, yeah, I mean, the spirit of the dryads might be like, so something must have happened 6 months ago, if that's when this whole thing started, and it set off this storm. So I think the best thing we can do is to show that we're a friend of nature in some way, or maybe to help them take their vengeance on whatever has harmed them, to give them peace. This is really cool stuff, guys. I've never actually seen a dryad before. I've only read about them.
All right. Well, I guess we're heading into the storm.
Yeah.
Right. So this is kind of close to the end of your days of travel. Do you want to camp for the night here?
Yeah,
Yes.
but a camp before we get to the storm for sure.
Good idea.
Yeah, I'll use tiny hut on the ground, and yeah, we can have our night's rest. I'll do my rune etching for the night right before I go to bed, and we'll get it going.
You got it. So in the night, the winds, even from the storm ahead, pick up a bit more. Blow, even though the tiny hut protects you very well. You can see the effects of it all around. And there's watches and such things. Just wonder if there's any moments of character that anybody wanted to do.
I think Nala would want to go up to Alora. Alora,
Yes.
I mean, I've never met a dryad, but have you?
Not at least in my woods. I've been granted. I've only been in nature when I needed to be, foraging, hunting, and the occasional survivor here and there. But I have not personally met one. Now, granted, it's possible that they are, justifiable and good-natured creatures, and they would only possibly show themselves if you did something to anger the nature. That's possible. Like I said, most of the time I've been in nature, I've respected the ways of it.
Before we met you, we knew a guy named Jamin. He might actually still be at the camp. I know he said he might be leaving one day, but he was sort of cursed to be part plant. And I helped him out of that. And ever since then, I've had like this leaf situation going on. But it's made me feel really connected to nature ever since, like I'm part tree.
Well, that would explain your hard exterior.
And your bark.
Just the leaves, guys.
I'm teasing.
Uh, well, from what I can say is being a part of nature is something wonderful. Never once have I thought myself unworthy of anything while I'm out there surviving in the wilds. It's a definitely calm feeling.
Well, Laura, I mean, you know a lot about magic and a lot about nature. And although I really, really despise magic, I do have a magic question. I just don't know exactly how to ask this without sounding weird.
Uh, Go ahead. I'll answer if I'm able to.
Okay, but you promise not to laugh?
I promise.
I
Okay.
don't.
Not sure about Maple though.
Well, do you have a spell that, I don't know, maybe could make me a dryad?
Like a transformation spell?
Yeah, like a rebirth of the ground. Like I grow from the earth. Like Sprout, then I could be more like Sprout.
I'm not entirely sure. I know there's such magic like that exists. I'm not entirely sure if that's it for dryads, however. In any case, I'm sure it would have something to do with either death and with a certain circumstance of revival, or just that you're naturally born with that ability.
I died twice recently.
Then it's possible you are a dryad.
I am?
No, I just. But truth, Nala, I'm not too sure such magic like that exists.
Well, if you come across something, just I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying, if you wouldn't mind passing it along to let me know about it, and
Sure, we can both be a part of nature together.
yeah, exactly. But maybe then I wouldn't turn into a child every few days. Or maybe I'd turn into a dryad child.
Or maybe a tree.
Yeah, maybe you turn into a tree.
Oh, that would be awful.
That's what dryads do. I keep wondering why you want to be a dryad so bad. Like, you want to turn into a tree?
Well, I just want to be more connected to the earth,
No, I don't.
I've been upright walking around for so long. I just thought it would be cool to be a part of another part of life, I've been around for a long time as a me, and it's cool and everything, but there's ever since I met Jamin, and I just started wondering if I was slowly turning into a plant person, but I don't think I am. I think it's just the leaves, and I still have to pluck them out every now and then because they get kind of scratchy.
Do they just appear there or do they grow?
They grow.
Okay. That's then I think you're part plant.
I think
But
I am.
I don't know that that's a dryad. I think you're just part plant. I think you're special.
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe I
Mighty.
need sunlight. Maybe
Maybe.
I'll fast for a while and just use the sun. See if that works.
Then you know what you should try? You should try running into the rain. Maybe you need some water to let yourself
Really?
grow.
I can go right now.
Do that in the morning.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good talking to you, Laura. Thanks for not laughing.
Of course.
So we settle down for a night in the hut.
Sounds good. Everyone roll me a d12, please.
Ooh.
Where's my D12?
A D12.
I'm not too sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Ooh. An 11.
Oh, here it is. 7.
7.
5.
Okay. In case the night, though windy within the hut itself, passes and you come to a nice dim day in the morning.
I will cook us breakfast this morning so that we have something to benefit from this moment. That will give us our temp HP. So everybody will get
Yay.
20 temp HP if they eat.
Nice.
Can I have seconds?
Absolutely. But it's coming out of your share.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll go hunt something.
All right. Well, I can't go around the storm. So let's go through it.
Yep. All right. I try to pat the horse, let them know it'll be okay, but
Yeah.
they don't understand me. So.
Indeed. We're going to do animal handling for whoever's going to drive through the storm.
Ooh.
Laura, do you want to drive?
I have a +6. Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll let Laura take over. Cause
Cool. So if that's the thing, I'm just going to say, Lord, that is the thing you were doing.
All right.
Yep.
Yes.
And does she get to add like her proficiency for being proficient at land vehicles?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. So that's a +10.
Oh, no.
Alrighty. Oh my god, that is the best thing ever. That's a natural 20.
Ooh. So you're able to successfully keep the horses from being spooked. This is going to go throughout unless there's a new issue. But as far as the storm itself, that is going to be it. As you approach further, the horses being calmed by all of you, you can see that there is a kind of, I would say, clumsily scrawled sign that looks like part of a struck branch was just broken up and then tied to another branch and stuck in the ground, forming like a little T. And upon that is written Grandpa Gregarius's hut, and it is made for an arrow that seems to go around the incoming the standing storm. And then there's the road, the main road that leads further. The arrow itself points to, you can see it looks like there's like grass and plants that have kind of been ripped out. Almost looks like by the root, as the ground is a little softer. That leads that direction.
Grandpa Gregarius's hut.
Yes.
I think we gotta go see Grandpa.
Gregarious. Why does that sound so familiar?
I don't know. Gregarious it's an adjective.
Well,
Someone can be gregarious. That's an interesting title, Grandpa Gregarious.
It means he likes to party.
Yeah. Should we go and meet Grandpa, or should we go through the storm?
Oh, I knew a Grisgar, not a Gregarious. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, they wouldn't hurt, I don't think.
Well, if you want, you guys can take a look and I can stay with the horses. Make sure they don't run off.
Okay, well, we'll call you then if it's best to come in.
So yeah, let's go meet Grandpa Gregarious.
Okay.
This party man.
I like grandpas.
That's what I'm saying. Grandpas are awesome.
Yeah, they give us candy.
Got those butterscotches.
Werther's Original.
Okay, so as you begin going down this pathway, sounds good. You after about 20 minutes or so, pushed through this high grass, you can see a series of what looks like lean-to shelters, spaced apart, not in any type of rows. And near one of them is what looks to be a young man, maybe 25. Definitively definitely dehydrated and looks like showing signs of starvation. And they sort of stand and they're staring towards the dark clouds. And there's other lean-tos in and around. What would you like to do?
Should we go talk to this guy?
Might as well check on him.
Should we offer him? He looks pretty famished and pretty messed up.
Yeah. Well, we give him some food.
Or some water. Hail, traveler.
Well, I think we're the travelers.
So is he. This is the middle of BFE. Hi.
They kind of look for a second at you and they blink. As if trying to process what's in front of them. And kind of go to raise their hand as if in routine, but almost in like a semi-robotic fashion.
Are you okay?
They look. And they don't respond.
Is he in a chair?
They're standing.
He's standing.
Can I see his eyes?
You can get closer if you want to see their eyes.
I'm really squinting from the distance. I'm kind of standing up in the cart. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm getting weird vibe here.
So I'm gonna take one of the darts that an old friend made for me, previously a part of the party, and I'm going to cast light on it and throw it in between his feet to get a good look at him.
Okay. Looking at them, you can see clothes that have one time you think very colorful, but they are faded. Their skin is sunburned. Their eyes are somewhat blank, so not quite sure where they are. Hair and facial hair long, unkempt. There's like sticks and possibly some small creatures in them. And the shoes are worn, can just see bits of their toes peeking out from it.
What's their facial expression like? Are they just
It's
staring
kind of
blankly?
very blank. Yeah, blank's facial. And the light hits and you stare at them here. And as you do, they kind of, again, blink. And they turn their back towards you and walk away. Walk some steps the way you would be looking at them. They actually turn in the direction you were headed, though off the path considerably.
And
And walking.
so before I guess everyone gets too far, and how far are we from the road where Alora is? We're like right there, I'm guessing, right? Or
I mean, you traveled for quite a few minutes. So,
oh, did we? Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know how long. Well, before he gets too far away, am I able to cast Raries and try to invite him to telepathically talk so he doesn't have to move his mouth?
Sure. I think they will accept this.
Sir, where are you going?
I don't know.
I talk to everyone, like whispering, to Nala and Garrus. Have you ever heard of creatures that use things as lures to get people to where they want to be?
Yeah. I have heard of several different creatures that are insidious like that and can imitate people. And that guy seemed like there was something wrong with him.
Maybe he just needs some water.
All right, here goes nothing. And I'm gonna run after the guy and grab up and try and get him to stop.
Okay.
And just go and like tug on his.
Yeah, you
his
tug.
skirt.
As you kind of do, they kind of just stop and turn and look at you.
Do you need water? Do you need food?
They nod. Yes. And kind of coughing on a dry throat and mouth.
I'll hand him. I've got a water flask, water skin. I'll hand him my water skin and offer him some water.
Kind of drink it. Thank you.
What's your name?
Owen.
Owen, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? Yes. I was looking. My friends and I were traveling, and we came off the road here to rest.
How long ago?
They blink and somewhat confusedly close their mouth and turn and begin kind of heading towards all of you on the road, like so away from Garrus, in towards a little path, really the path that you're coming, and just and just starts walking to the north.
Try to follow him.
I will
Should we
get out.
Get
but-
Laura.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna bring out my little dog familiar from its pocket dimension and have it go get Alora and bring her back here.
Okay. Do you follow Lassie there, Laura?
Yeah, I'll see if so I'd bring the carriage as far as she possibly can.
Yeah, the wagon and
just,
everything. Yeah. So as they're coming, you see the person. Owen stops and just stands there, and now is just standing in the middle of the road.
What happened here?
Looks, what happened? Nothing.
Is this the road you took?
Kind of the road we took. You trying to trick me, spirit?
No.
And they take out like the small knife carved of bone and go to stab Nala in the neck.
Ooh.
That is for an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that will definitely hit.
Right. That is 5 piercing.
Hey, Owen, stop! Did Greg do this to you?
Is he holding a bone knife to Nala's neck now?
Yeah, like it's inserted into her neck.
Okay, then
Well,
I've got my
I think-
rapier drawn.
I think Nala would have her hand up, like
Oh yeah.
to not have anyone attack him.
Yeah, she'll like
Kinda-
hold. Yeah. She'll,
So,
like-
and I'd have my other hand on the bone dagger, so it hopefully doesn't go any further in.
yeah.
And I'll just kind of,
Let's let them resist a grapple.
yeah.
And that'll kind of decide how all this is moving here.
What's that?
Oh, they're going to. There's no. Well, I guess you roll because it's resist athletics. I wish it 2024 again. There we go.
24.
Okay, so you kind of grab and you have them still now, keeping them from moving here.
It's okay, Owen. I'm not the spirit. Could you tell
Trickery,
us?
and you can tell that they're trying to do it again. You have them, I think, in the scenario, so they can't
Mhm.
push it any deeper.
I'm gonna
but-
try to calm them using some words here. I'm gonna say, Owen, we're not your enemy. We want to help you. We want to help you. But-
Yes, go ahead.
But I can't help you if you attack, because my friends are going to think that you're violent, and I don't think you're violent, Owen. I think you're a good person who just has a lot of bad things happening to him.
They let go, and they're pulling away, but now almost in like horror. Are you okay, child?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
Hey, no. Where's everyone?
Your friends?
Yes.
How old are you, Owen?
25.
Well-
we were here months ago.
6 months ago?
That's precisely. Just a month or two of traveling. And I've just been in this field. Right. No, I should go hunting.
Owen, where is this spirit who haunts you?
This, like, they're kind of like, the spirit. And then they just sort of turn and look off at the sky, their mouth
Okay.
kind of open.
Is he looking at the
Okay.
storm?
No, just sort of above Nala's head. I think theoretically the storm might be kind of over there, but not specifically.
Okay.
Guys, I don't think we need to hurt this man. I think he's cursed or something, but we gotta find the spirit to talk to them and see if we can figure out what's going on. Especially if it was oh, go ahead.
I hate to want to disagree, but I know that it is probably best that we take care of this.
Well, I mean, if it comes to that, I agree, but if there's another way we can help, I would prefer to do that.
I say you let him go and we follow him.
All right. And I'll let go of his hand or whatever I'm
Take the
grabbing.
knife.
Letting go, they turn and walk away from the path more, just idly, without intention.
Okay.
And as they do, you see them kind of like trip and fall into the high grass.
Oh,
As they kind of go out of sight because of that.
Owen? Trying to see if they're still there.
Yeah.
You run that direction and you see them. Their legs are over this emaciated corpse.
Oh,
They're like reaching out, and you can see a water skin about 5 feet away from them. You come close. Owen looks at you, Nala, and takes their fist and tries to punch you in the gut. What have you done to them? 8. You can
Yes,
decide how what this looks like.
I would kind of deflect the punch and hold up my hands like I'm not going to fight, you know. And
Yeah, I think with that, it kind of like overreaches as you do that and kind of stumbles a little bit.
you know,
Like, obviously, just wild and not totally in control. Laura, you are definitely here by now. Cool.
Yay.
I'm gonna fill in Laura as to what's been going on so that she's aware.
Hey, Owen. Do you know Grandpa Gregarious?
The sign. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I got to roll for that. Okay, awesome. Grandpa Gregarious. The sign. We thought that curious, but we... Right, why would you call on somebody so late at night, we said. But we
It's
thought
not.
maybe we would talk to him. So we decided to get a little bit off the road, camp, and then we would go see him the next day. But I've never made it there. We've just been hunting, trying to survive. The game, and then kind of looks again and grabs this water skin and clutches it to their chest and looks to this body. I'm sorry. And then they kind of get up and now walk kind of towards the main road a little bit. And there's nowhere near it, but that's the direction they're headed.
Have any of you ever seen anything like this before?
If I haven't seen anything like this particularly, but if anybody's ever been cursed, it's that guy right there. I
Yeah.
wonder if we've got a hag or something like that messing with
know.
us.
I think it might be related to that dryad spirit we were talking about. And it makes me feel like maybe when they came out here, maybe they had to cut down a tree or get some firewood or something, and it turned into a massive misunderstanding that led to this. I mean, I think it's okay to have nature and people work together, but I don't think he deserves this. Depending on what's happened, we don't even know what's happened.
I see. I'm tending to think this has something to do with Grandpa Gregarious and the sign back there.
You think Grandpa's a hag?
Could be, or maybe a demon or something like that. I don't know, but I think we should go and follow the sign.
That kind of makes me less wanting to do it. I sometimes worry that it was a hag that did this to me.
Well, I mean, the other direction was right into the storm, so there is that to consider.
Yeah.
It's either go into the storm or follow the ominous sign and see Grandpa Gregarious, whoever the hell this is.
Maybe we should take Owen with us.
Yeah, we could do that. I got some rope. We could tie him up.
Yeah. That way he won't take any swings. And maybe we can find him some help.
Yeah. So I'll tie Owen up, and yeah, we'll tie him up and then head along. Or do we want to continue on this path towards Grandpa? I think we have to.
What do y'all think?
Maybe that's just the magic talking.
Yeah, I mean, I would hate for someone to stumble upon this who isn't as prepared as we are. So
That's kind of my thinking as well. Plus, I'm intrigued.
That does make sense. I don't want anybody to have this happen to them either.
And Owen's just gonna wander out here. Something fishy's going on, that's for sure.
Yeah. And if somebody did this to him for no reason, then they definitely need to answer for that.
Well, who's the other dead guy here?
I think it's probably one of their friends that they came here with.
Owen, did you know this guy?
They keep, well, I don't know if you've grabbed them yet, but they keep walking towards the main road and do not respond.
Oh, let's go get Owen.
I think he's tied up his hand. Is what
Yeah, he's tied up by
Okay.
now.
So, it kind of just keeps trying to walk away then. Just
Okay.
like this weird lucidity that he's had twice now doesn't seem to be there.
Okay.
The way he
Is-
responded when he fell on that corpse, it just made me feel like he knew the person. But yeah, I guess we can look into this.
And Owen is wandering back towards the road.
It was, and then they begin struggling against their bonds. Oh, and
Is he going in?
they looks like they actually break the rope. They kind of
Jeez.
He's hulking out.
and looks like very. You tried to capture me.
As much
You
as I hate
tried
to
to
say it,
stab us.
maybe we should knock him out for his own good.
We could also just leave him.
No, I don't want to do that. I'll try to knock him out, and I'll walk up to him. I'm so sorry, Owen. I'll try to punch him to knock him out non-lethally.
This is easy enough to do to this individual. They are exhausted.
Okay.
And they knocked out. You have given them some water. You can see right away there kind of a little bit of blood. It comes and it doesn't seem to be clotting quite right. And they're you get the distinct feeling if you arrived tomorrow, you might have come across a corpse.
Okay. So we have the cart with us, right?
Indeed.
All right. So I'm going to put him in the cart.
All right. Laura brought it.
Nice. All right. Let's go find Grandpa before he wakes up.
And as we head along this path, Garrus's head is on a swivel. I want to see if we're being watched.
All right. Absolutely. Give me a perception check.
Yeah. Dirty 20.
320. The wind blows here and hard to fully notice, but you look and you see places where the high grass here parts just slightly. And through your eyes, as you're really trying to pay attention now, you can see still hands and bodies. You're counting maybe somewhere between 10 and 20 as you keep going down the path here.
Occasionally see the twinkle of an eye and stuff like that.
Yeah, just sort of once you're starting to recognize the patterns of corpses, of humanoids.
There's bodies in the grass.
Indeed. Yep.
I think this is a death trap. Cool.
If you want, I can check to see if there's any traps.
Yeah,
Wait, no, I cannot. I just realized I forgot. I swapped that out for Pass Without a Trace.
That's all right. That's all right. Do we want to? Well, that might be good right about now too. Do we want to proceed quietly and try and use our stealth? Does it seem like we're getting any closer to a destination? Like as we're proceeding down this.
So, as you proceed down, you kind of keep going, and then the grass, like kind of grasslands itself, kind of seemed to end and come to more what kind of appears to be very well kept farm. Rows of grafted trees stretch in every direction, their trunks twisted like braided rope. Each branch bears fruit, but odd. The apples give off a soft red glow. As you're looking and you're in this mode of like something coming after me, you can hear whispers coming from the peaches. As the wind blows, blueberries hit each other and chime like wind bells. There's a sweet taste to the air, like honey and smoke and old parchment. And you can look at the center of the orchard rises a towering 3-story gourd. Its skin cracked and hardened into walls. Its cap stretched into the slouching roof, stitched together carefully with ivy. A crooked chimney pokes from the top, puffing out smoke that curls into shapes. You see an owl, a teacup, a snarling cat, before vanishing. How would you like to proceed?
Garrus is going to look at Nala and Alora. Don't eat anything. Don't eat anything that we didn't bring. Something is really fishy here.
Maybe that's what happened to Owen.
Well, all these people were dead in the fields on the way here, and there's all this food here just waiting. All this fruit just waiting to be picked and eaten, and all these people starved to death. Those people look emaciated and look like they were famished and exhausted.
Oh, not more magic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look around for any glyphs, wards, any like ruins or things that either could, alert for us being here or harm us if we pass anyway.
Sure. Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'll do that stuff. Oh, 20. 16 plus 9 for 25.
25. Look around. There are no sigils or runes. No outright spell work yet. The obvious workings of magic all around you. Get a distinct impression that this is some creature's domain, and thus their amount of control and ability to perceive in it is unmeasurable.
I think no matter where we are here, who's ever home this is knows that we're here.
That was kind of my thought as well. I think something's leading us here. Something wants to say hi. Should we go and knock on the door and see who's home?
I guess so.
I mean,
Yeah.
what else are we going to do in this? That's a pretty impressive house. I mean, I've never seen a gourd that big.
I'm sure it would win tons of farmers awards.
So, do you think this is a witch?
It sure seems like it could be, or maybe could be Fae.
Guess could be something more nefarious. I think a witch is the least of our worries.
Yeah. All right. You go right ahead, Garrus. Knock. Right behind you.
All right. Yeah, so I guess we're going to approach the house.
Yeah. I'll stay about 15 feet back from them just to kind of look and still observe outside and see the differences. Observe the differences in the vegetation when they approach, if any.
And I think Nala looks legit kind of scared for the first time. you've ever known her, and so she is like purposefully wanting to stay behind Garrus, kind of hiding a bit.
And Garrus is acting completely like he's being brave, but he's completely bullshitting, and he's ready to shit himself too. But he'll go and approach the door and look over his shoulder and see that Nala's a little bit behind him, and Alora and Azariah are further back, and knock on the door, I guess.
Yeah. What's it like looking for Laura?
Yeah, what's Alora doing?
You there, Alex?
Shoot, probably
Oh,
fighting.
so sorry. I had literally just had my fucking food just came in right now.
Oh.
So I'm so sorry.
All good.
Yeah, no, let's see. So what I forgot to say was she was gonna leave Maple with what's his face? He's unconscious, no one's guarding him.
With
So-
Owen.
Oh, and
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Owen guards are
And
nice.
seeing how closely this situation is, she's actually not going to stay back and have her bow out, but she has her arms on her short swords and is actually going in front, seeing how Nala is scared. She's going to go with them.
Okay, so
So I'm
side to
behind
side
both
with
Garrus and Alora then.
Yeah. And Ezra's like, have fun. I'll just sit back here and look. The front door is carved from this pear wood and set into the gourd's belly. And as you go up, before you can touch it, it swings open. And you hear a voice from within. Come in, come in. No use catching your death in the storm when there's stewed plum bread and mushroom milk waiting. I always set a place for wanderers. And the wind stills. And Azariah, you see the fruit trees begin to rustle with a language you can't pick up. And of course, the door waits open wide.
All right, let's go meet Grandpa.
Yeah, I kind of grab onto the back of Alora's tunic so that I'm forced to follow.
I'll put a hand out, not touching, but put a hand out to one of the plants near me. I'm sorry, friends. I hope that we can save you. And now I will come in.
The air inside is thick with warmth and spice. It's like cinnamon bark steeped in moss tea. A spiral staircase climbs the curved interior walls, which are covered in stitched together wallpaper made from pressed leaves, faded recipes, and what looks like old love letters and a few wanted posters. Floating lanterns bob gently in the air, casting a buttery glow over this mismatched parlor with squash-shaped chairs, a tea table carved from a single stump, and a fireplace crackling without wood, just a bundle of glowing mushrooms, humming softly. On a sideboard, steam rises from a silver teapot that seems to pour itself into mismatched cups as you approach into here. And the scents here are familiar and foreign all at once. And you see this rocking chair. It turns slowly, revealing its occupant, a broad-shouldered old man with a beard like tangled roots and eyes that look at you. And as they move to each of you, they seem to change in color. And he has an apron on, embroidered with these tiny dancing goats. And the smile, while warm, is just a bit too wide. Ah, there you are. Just in time for tea. And a bit of terribly important nonsense. Do mind the cup with the red stripe. It remembers arguments.
Bit of important nonsense. What important nonsense could that be, sir?
Come, sit.
All right. Garrus is looking around wide-eyed. His eyebrows are way, way, way up. He's just kind of in awe. But he's smart enough to realize the implications of what he's seeing here too, that this is a very powerful being and we're pretty much at his whims. So I'll go forward and sit down, and I'll encourage everybody else to do the same, and we'll take a seat.
Nala's just standing there, wide-eyed, looking at that apron.
And you come to sit, and as they stare, look at you, goes, well, very, very good. No. Nala, I think you're like this tea in particular.
How do you know my name?
Oh, I'm Grandpa. Grandpas always know everyone's name.
Oh, okay. Hi, Grandpa.
I remember 20 minutes ago you were so happy to meet a grandpa.
Not anymore. Not one that lives in a gourd. All right. Okay. Okay. I just kind of I try not to get closer, but I try to take the tea to be kind, so that he doesn't do anything.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, don't be afraid. My granddaughter can keep you company if you like. Does that make you feel better?
Granddaughter?
Yes. And they kind of whistle, and you see this shriveled wooden doll,
Oh God.
about 3 feet tall, just sort of the face kind of just rudimentarily carved, and like a straight line for the mouth that then sort of changes into a smile. And comes over to like grab your hand gently.
I can sit down.
What's her name?
Oh, Peridot.
That's a beautiful name for a beautiful girl.
What's your name, Grandpa?
Gregarious. Grandpa Gregarious.
Peridot. Hi, Peridot.
They sort of nod. Oh.
You can sit with me, Peridot.
They way too quickly. You'd almost think they teleported, except that you hear their movements. Jump into your lap and wrap around your side.
Oh God. I just try to put on a big smile and I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's so nice. This is nice. This is fine. Everything is fine.
Well, let's see. You wanted to find me, and now you have. How do you find my home?
It's gorgeous.
Oh, as you always were funny.
It's absolutely enchanting. As is the host. It's good to finally meet you, Grandpa Gregarious. We've heard so little about you.
Uh, good. Good, as it should be. I've been here for some time now. You're the first to make it. Good job. Curiosity never hurt anyone, you know.
Except the cat.
Uh, well, only the ones that couldn't run quick enough.
Curiosity seemed to harm several dozen people on the way here. We saw an awful lot of deceased.
Yes. But if they didn't make it, they must not have really been wanted to come. Half-hearted measures will get you in trouble in this world, you know. But I'm curious. Why do you head into that storm? You were going to go there had you not seen my sign.
Do you believe in fate?
They're nice people.
Do you know what a triad is?
A dryad, of course.
Well, we think there might be a dryad in the storm.
Well, there was. It's the storm, I think, as you might know, isn't just wind and wrath. It's grief made of teeth. The young dryad cawed from their grove. Too, like bark off a butcher's block. You see, they had fallen in love. Two dryads, their trees intertwined. And their protector, their parent born of storm and elements, had nothing left behind but their memory and lightning in their belly. And he leans forward, and the steam from his cup kind of curls upward into the shape of a crying woman dissolving into wind. Now you see he's not wrong to rage, but rage never knows when to stop. He's lashing out at everything, the sky, the forest, even your precious road to Guntar. Pity. Fixing it. Well, how interested are you in that?
Well, I'm curious. Do you know the dryad's name?
Juliana.
Well, I would say we're very interested.
We have to travel that way regardless.
It's fate and whatnot.
Of course. And you can travel and take your luck in it, I suppose. Or you could murder the raging storm.
But yeah, Nala seems very conflicted over this.
Yes. Or you could transplant the problem.
Transplant the problem.
Just keep them safe where they can't hurt anyone and put them out to sea or the mountains, someplace where they can rage and things are a little bit more easily avoidable than a road with so many innocent bystanders.
How would one transplant such a raging storm?
Moving the tree.
I'll be glad to help you, but I'll just need a promise tucked in a pocket. I'll collect it when it matters.
You mean like an unnamed price?
Yes. Don't worry, I always knock twice. Just when the wind changes,
And yet,
do me a favor.
what makes you think that's what we want to do and not leave it as is or try to solve this issue?
Huh? If you think you're so high and mighty, by all means.
I'm a little confused here. Why haven't you done something about this?
Kind of leans in closely. Well, look at this. Look at me. I'm shriveled and old. I need help. And it's hard to find people who will lend a hand when needed. So, unfortunately, I'm forced to offer solutions to problems with just a price, a promise of help sometimes. If I solved it myself, who would help me when I was in need?
Insight
So
check?
we help. We help.
Go ahead.
That is. Oh. Okay, I thought so. Let me check the modifier. That's a 17.
17. They seem earnest and true.
So we help you out by transplanting this dryad or murdering this dryad.
Oh, no, murder. With my help, you can put it wherever you want. You're helping yourselves, my friend. And in exchange for my help in helping you, and you achieving this, I'll just ask for help one day in return.
What do you know about not to change the topic really, but just as a side, we met someone here named Owen.
Hmm.
Do you know him?
No. I mean, I know he was weak of heart and purpose, but I've never met the poor boy.
Well, he's suffering, and I don't know if you know of anything that could help him.
I do. You taking my deal?
That would help him.
Oh, indeed. There'd be no reason for me to be here if the storm was gone. I would go somewhere else. And those who weren't strong enough of heart to make it here would find the consequences of that removed.
Did you purposely do something, or is it just that he's in close proximity to you?
I don't think he did something. I think he is something.
Oh, I see.
Grandpa Gregarious, if you don't mind, I think maybe some questions could possibly help my friend, especially Nala here, learn a bit. You strike me as a connoisseur of peculiar truths, and I do admire a host who knows how to dress unsettling omens in goat aprons and hospitality. But I have to ask this place, your granddaughter, even the feeling of your home, what exactly are we stepping into? You don't have to tell me everything, just enough to avoid stepping on anything explosive.
You mean here? In my home? I mean, there are those who keep me company, though their usefulness does diminish over time. Hmm. You ask about my granddaughter?
Peridot.
Oh, yes. Oh, I acquired her some time ago. Way before I came here. Traded her fair and square. But I would say, as long as you mean me no danger, and no trickery or malice or deception, this place means you no harm.
I think we at least come to an agreement on that. Just you got a look of someone who knows what came before the first thread was spun. And that's rare, it's dangerous, but useful. Would you mind telling me a story? Not for information's sake, just as a traveler with tired eyes and too many questions.
Mhm.
People who know too much grow old before their time is. Every secret has its cost.
Is that why you're so old? Because you know so much?
You flatter an old man.
Sure I do. Sure I do.
Now, stories and stories. Maybe another time. But there is one story of the girl who traded away something she didn't realize. One who walks slower than she should. But that's still being told.
Are you talking about me?
Kind of looks. Well, Nala, I would say your deal is quite famous. But It wasn't with me.
I have a question about Peridot. Was she always a doll?
I've shared enough.
I look at Peridot and I say, like I whisper, "Were you always a doll?"
Her head shakes.
Yeah, it kind of shakes side to side, and for a moment, her carved eyes turn into ones of flesh, and tears flow down the
I hug
wood
her.
before they go back.
I just hugged this poor little doll.
Now, many answers and things that you've talked about. Perhaps if we start this relationship off right, we'll meet again and talk more. But why don't we start? What do you say? I help you with this. You return the favor. And should both parties live up to what they say, we can go deeper.
I say we do it.
Okay. And you say that if we get rid of this storm, you'll be gone too, because you won't have any purpose here anymore. So you won't be entrapping travelers anymore.
I will leave.
Okay. Well, that's two problems gone and making the road clear. It'll make our travel a lot easier, that's for sure. I don't know. Laura, what do you think?
Well, no offense, but I do not trust you at all. Being as careful as I have has kept me, well, at least with my head still attached. But if my companions trust you, then I suppose I will too.
Laura, I trust him, but only exactly as far as his word.
Precisely. There's no reason for me to trust him when he has not earned it. If he keeps his word,
That's
then
true.
I suppose I have no issue with that.
So, how can you help us then?
I provide the means to trap and transport this creature to wherever you wish. Simple. Do we have an accord?
I look at Azariah. They haven't spoken yet.
Mhm.
I've been just watching, and I did while I did speak earlier. I guess my thoughts were all to, I guess, feel more comfortable in this place. I trust he will keep his word, but we should just obviously be cautious on what he expects from us. Now, does this thing, right? This promise in a pocket, is it for one person or is it for us as a group?
It would be for your group.
Well, we're stronger as a group. Definitely more useful as a group.
Yeah, we are.
I think we're all in agreement then.
That is fine.
And please be kind to your granddaughter.
They kind of look at you and don't really respond down that avenue. And so I just need to verify because this creature would instinctually know. Is everyone agreeing?
Nala is.
I agree.
Garrus is agreeing with reservations. He's fingering his cloak as he agrees.
But before I verbally and physically agree with a handshake, if you can only use one person's help, old man, you call on me only.
If it's done by a single person. So if you could use only one person's help, then only tell you is what you're saying.
Yes.
Fair enough. If I feel it is accomplishable by one, then you will hear my summons. But if I need all of you, then that is what I will call upon.
I can agree to those terms.
Nala, as she's kind of standing from the table, she's still holding on to Peridot. Just kind of like, not like purposefully, but just like kind of heading toward the exit with Peridot because she's on her, like she was hugging her. She just kind of isn't really thinking.
As he goes, darling, and she immediately lets go.
Oh, sorry.
The deal is struck, and takes his hand, and as he raises it, you see these bony fingers elongate to about 4 feet each as they pick up a jelly jar, and he reaches in and kind of empties all the jelly into their mouth, spits in it, and cleans it out, and reaches into the sky of this air here, and there's this little spark that they pluck out of the air and place in the jar. Shh, little one. Yes, it's time for you to serve your purpose. Good, good, good. And it kind of, the spark slowly fades slightly, and you can still see it slightly vibrating, but it now appears to be like a piece of silver in the jar. And then he takes a lid and he seals it and goes, now, you'll need to rile it up a little bit. Get them to experience their fury. The more energy they release, the more vulnerable they are. And then get close to it enough so you can feel their sorrow and anguish. And open the jar with an action. And they will find themselves irresistibly drawn, and then quickly put on the lid and take it where you want it to live the rest of its days. Wherever you open the jar, it will be confined there within about a mile for all of eternity.
Oh. Cool.
Oh, we just
They put the jar forward.
Now I'll
okay.
pick it up.
So we just gotta get close enough to piss this thing off. Piss it off.
Yeah.
Beat the crap out of it. And open the jar next to it.
I know a thing or two about rage, so I think this will be a very, very interesting encounter.
Ooh. I don't know. I still prefer the city. All right, Grandpa. Well, good doing business with you, I guess.
Hmm. We shall see if it was good doing business with you. Now, be sure to leave and feel free to take any of the stragglers upon the path that still have breath in them. The corpses I will need for something else. But do not rest too close to my orchard, lest the same fate befall you.
Yeah, we get that now. All right, Grandpa. And goodbye, Peridot.
It's a face of anguish before it becomes tranquil. And they wave.
I wave.
All right. And everyone make their way out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
That's so sad.
And going along the path and picking up Owen. You get a ways away back to where the storm is. As things become more like the regular Silra. And we're ending for tonight. Anyone watching, thank you so much, and we'll come back next week.